Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Team Lines of Poetry Collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms. I'll leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Happy Wednesday, my friends! I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited for another Top 5 Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me this morning, or this afternoon, or tonight, whenever you're watching this video. It is just so great to be here. But if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday was formed by Lainey back in 2013. The group is now since on Goodreads, and I'll also leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out too. Basically, our host puts together a series of prompts for Wednesday, and then on that Wednesday, we answer those said prompts with 5 books, or in this case, manga. And oh my goodness, since Thanksgiving is coming up next week, which is really shocking if I might add, we're just talking about food in books that like we wouldn't mind trying, which I realized when I put my list together, I was like, oh, it's food that you want to eat or try from that said book. I'm like, well, these are more just like food-based manga than they are actual foods that I want to try. And saying that, let's go ahead and kick off with number 1. It is a manga title that I have seen the Manga Sloth talk about and was really bummed that our library only has volumes 1 and 2. But I was like, you know what? If the Manga Sloth likes it, I'm gonna try it out. And so for number 1, I am gonna say Drifting Dragons. I don't know how much I'd want to actually try and eat a dragon. I find the concept of this really interesting. Like I said, I got volumes 1 and 2, and I skimmed through it a little bit, and it seems really fun and quirky because, I mean, he just loves to hunt down dragons and then eat them. And I guess coming from the writers community or the fantasy writers community where people love dragons, you don't hear about that in the fantasy writing community where main characters want to eat dragons. Usually they're treasured and they're feared, and I guess they are feared a little bit in Drifting Dragons, but they want that meat. So it's really interesting, and I'm hoping that I have enough time to read these 2 volumes and try it before I have to return to my library. I'm super behind on my reading this month, so we'll sort of just see. I'm also a little bit nervous. I'll read it and then I'm gonna love it and want the rest of the series. And I told my husband I was gonna try really hard not to pick up a bunch of new series, that I'd finish the ones that I actually have on my shelf that I have not technically read yet. But Drifting Dragons for sure for number 1. For number 2, I'm really excited to feature this one. This manga is all about food, and it was actually one of the first manga recommendations I ever received when I went years ago, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago anyway, when I asked for recommendations. And I'm hoping also this month that I can read this one. It is another, sorry, trying to organize it here, that I got from the library, and that is Kitchen Princess! Look at that! I'm so excited. I have volume 4, but my library has volumes 1 through 3, but did not have volume 4, and so I really have been so curious about this manga. I have read a little bit of volume 1 in the past, but this is, like I said, all about food, and all the dishes that the main girl makes just looks so delicious. So I would take anything that she's making, because I'm still on the fence if I'd want to actually try some dragon meat. But yes, give us, what's her name? Najika? Give us her food. I'll take any of her food any day, especially since it's mainly, I think, sweets. So this one has a bowl of rice, so maybe they're not all necessarily sweets. This one doesn't look like sweets either, but volume 4 does have sweets. So yes, Alice, I'm behind on my reading this month, and I was really hoping that I could have Kitchen Princess read before the end of November, I mean, but we're just gonna see, because I think there are 3 volumes in each of the omnibuses, so that would be 12 volumes altogether since there's 4 titles, or 4 volumes, I mean. So we'll just see, but definitely, I felt like I had to spotlight Kitchen Princess because it sort of seems like a classic shoujo manga a little bit. It seems like one that a lot of people have read, and it's sort of one of their earlier reads, and I haven't really heard anything bad about Kitchen Princess, to be honest. So I need to step it up on my TBR and totally read it before I have to return the other volumes to my library as well. For number 3, this is another testament of how behind I am on my reading because I've had this one on my shelf for a good hot minute, and that is Giant Spider and Me. I saw this recommendation, or have seen the recommendation, I would even say that, from Marg at Marg Reads Manga. I keep meaning to read it, and I actually read some of it, and I loved what I read, but then I just got sidetracked, I guess, by life, and it sounds so cute and it's very heartwarming, it seems. And the food in this one, I wouldn't mind trying. As you can see, we definitely have some cooking vibes on the front of the first one. Yep, and the second one. And yeah, and the third one. So definitely lots of good, yummy food, I think, in this one as well. Just, as long as you don't mind a giant spider companion, everything should be okay. So this is another one that I got from my library that I need to check out. Well, like check out by reading, I mean. And oh, goodness, I'm just so behind. Like this was not supposed to be a video of me realizing how behind I am in actually reading my manga right now. But that's okay. But this is another manga that I'm really excited to spotlight and hoping to read very, very soon. For number 4, this one I can actually say I have read, and I'm glad, and I have a review of it as well, and that is Kemomo Confiserie. Oh my goodness, I am not a sweets person, but this manga made me want all of the sweets. Oh my goodness, like so delicious, so delicious looking. And I love how the manga actually like talks about some of her visits to different like pastry shops and then just culinary. I think she did visit a culinary school. I think she mentioned in one of them. So I would love to try anything by Natsu here and Kemomo. Like their food just looks so delicious. And like I mentioned, I have a video review if you'd like to check it out. It is a great series and just very sweet. Natsu definitely is a little bit mean. He's not the most like caring, sweet hero throughout this manga, but I did like Natsu as the like series progressed by a lot. And the ending was pretty sweet as well. So this one I can definitely recommend if you need some yummy food, but just forewarn, you will get hungry. And last but not least, for number 5, this is another one that's going to make you want to crave all the sweets, and this is a manga that I read on the Shonen Jump app, and that is Candy Flurry. Oh my goodness, this series was so much fun. The premise is that Tokyo has been destroyed by lollipops, and when you see the main image that shows Tokyo destroyed, it looks super epic. I mean, I feel like that's like bad to say, but seeing a city destroyed by giant lollipops, it's just not something that you see every day, you know what I mean? So this one was just a really fun series. I did do a video review, but I have not had a chance to upload it on YouTube yet, but I'm really excited. I think I read this one, I was about to say in one day, but I don't think I did. I think I read like what would be like the equivalent of volume 1 one night, and then I read volumes 2 and 3 the next night. But it is great. I love the uniqueness of like just the uniqueness and the creativity of the different food users, or sweet users as they call them. It's just a lot of fun. I will say you have a lollipop user, you have an ice cream user, you have, what is his, a donut user. I mean, there's so many creative ways that they use sweets, and it's just a really fun story, and it definitely made me want to go try one of the lollipops, especially the one that's on the cover, because it's just so colorful. And I love how our main heroine, how she talks about her love for lollipops. It is just a really good manga, and I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you have the Shonen Jump app. It's really good. The first 3 volumes are free, so stay tuned. Hopefully here soon I'll get that video review up, just gushing about how fun this series was and how it definitely gave me all the laughter. And because I couldn't help do an honorable mention for number 6, I was sad to find out that it has been pushed back, but I'm going to say the One Piece Pirate Recipes that has, of course, Sanji, our amazing chef, on the cover. I would love to try. Well, I take that back. I wouldn't mind trying a lot of different things from the world of One Piece. I think that'd be really fun. And I think when I last checked, it's really, yeah, just different things that Sanji has cooked in One Piece. And like now you have the recipe / cookbook to make those said things. And I was really excited that my husband wanted this. I'm not the best at using cookbooks. I just go to Pinterest, to be honest. But I still wanted this because I'm like, it's Sanji, it's One Piece. And it did look like they had a few simple recipes and not something that would be like really hard to do. And speaking of, If you want to make some Japanese food that is like on the simpler side and doesn't require a lot of like unique ingredients that are hard to find, the manga cookbook is a great place to start. I feel like I've talked about it on this channel at one point. I'll try and leave a link up here. I feel like it was like books on my TBR that I've had that I need to read and just have not read. But this is a really good one, and it's really has lots of good, let me see if I can find a picture. Here we go. Like has lots of good pictures, step-by-step breakdown, has a lot of cute foods, just common things I feel like that, and I think that's why it's called the manga cookbook, that you see in manga. So this would be another cookbook that I would recommend. Wasn't planning to like talk about this one, but goes with the theme of cookbooks that are going on here. And I suppose that's all of them. Those are just different food mangas that I would not mind trying, except for Drifting Dragons, still on the fence. Like, what does that even taste like? I don't know. But totally let me know, what do you guys think like dragon meat would taste like? And what are some foods and manga that you would love to try, or some food-based manga that you have enjoyed or have seen? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and feedback. And just thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and have a great day. Bye!